Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 19th episode of the Moscow Chocolate Talks. We are the Moscow Chocolate Nevers. 19th.
Damn.
And this is our podcast. Boys, how you doing?
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
I have the best
Good.
news.
Very good.
Pretty good. Yeah? All right, let's hear it.
I have better news than whatever you have to say.
I don't know about
I believe
that.
it. I believe it, yes.
Let's hear it.
Allie had her ultrasound. 0 tumors.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely
Very nice.
None. So she
That's
is
awesome.
going
Good day for
hard,
dogs.
going
A
strong.
great day. Wow.
It's a good
Excellent.
good day for dogs. Now
very
continue
good.
with your petty bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So
Did
now,
you give her many treats today?
yes,
many
were there
pets,
treats?
at least?
Oh, I got up at like 6 a.m. this morning just to go snuggle with her for 2 hours.
Oh,
I was like, my baby.
Amazing.
that
Dude,
makes my heart very happy.
I think you should photo shoot with Allie.
I-
Just success.
I already
Just,
do.
No, but like post it everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I want to see you and hugging dogs on every single facet of social media.
Like those awkward pregnancy pictures with like people and the.
I
you know
saw
what
one.
I mean?
A guy had like a pregnant chihuahua, and
Yeah. Exactly.
it was great.
Well, okay,
But
did
you'll be the one carrying the child. We'll just fill you up on candy so your tummy sticks out a little more.
did you guys ever hear about that guy who I think was in Arkansas who sued the state for the right to be pregnant?
How?
Yes,
How
this
so?
happened.
Wait.
In
I'm
some
intrigued.
state somewhere.
I want to know
Yes.
more.
No,
It might not
all
be
I want to
Arkansas,
know. First off, it's
Yes.
Arkansas,
That's
And-
valid. That's valid.
and what was the outcome of this?
To my knowledge, this lawsuit was thrown out. But this
Okay,
individual,
okay,
see, here's the
okay,
thing.
okay.
While he acknowledged it was not anatomically possible for him to produce a child himself in that current state, he wanted to sue for the right to have a child.
Well, technically, it is.
This has happened somewhere.
It is an invalid argument
Wait.
because, by terms
That's
of
why it was
law,
thrown out.
if it's not possible to happen, then there's no point of debating a right for it or not because the right would just simply not exist.
But wait.
That's probably why it was
Also,
thrown out.
But wait, what does he mean? Have a child? Like literally? Okay, literally he can't
just
give
wants-
birth
No,
to
no,
one, but
like-
he
The
can
right.
adopt one, right?
He
Was
wants
that-
wants the title of being like, oh, that's the guy that can have a kid.
See, I don't
But, like-
understand why he needed this right.
Have
I
being
just
a
know this
verb,
happened.
like giving birth.
But the
Like,
semantics
basically-
are exactly.
I have a reason. I think I figured it
The
out.
semantics is what's confusing me.
All he
Okay,
wants
but
is
like
the right
I can
to
have
give
a
birth.
child, I can
He
adopt a
wants
child, and therefore
to
I
take
have a
shit
child,
so
right?
massive
So what's-
that it's bloody and he's screaming and he has to go to the hospital. And in case this happens, instead of him making news for like man dies from taking massive shit, he wants it to be like, no, that was me giving birth because I have the right to do that.
What
It's
a
like-
wild
it's
time
like
to be
I
alive,
wanna
back
guys.
him up.
This is
but like,
It's like I want to back him up because like that would kind of make sense, you know, but like
just
bloody poop science.
man.
I don't think he was trying to fight for the right to have a turd, though, my guy.
Party?
No, it's so
A
that he
shit?
can
A
say
party. Yeah.
it's so that he can say I had a kid and it was my right to have that kid and they can go, well,
See, as soon as you said party, I thought of Wayne's World. I don't know.
You didn't think of Beastie Boys?
I thought of Wayne's World because
Oh.
I saw this thing where Wayne was talking about how a 24-hour blowout on some Canadian TV show in the 70s would solve all the world's problems, including potentially this man's lawsuit. Do you guys want to join Wayne in a 24-hour blowout?
I mean, yeah.
COVID's over, 24 hours, the whole world.
Yeah.
wait, I'm confused.
I don't see
yet
why not.
again. What
I don't know
what
about
is
COVID
the,
being
what is a
over,
blowout?
though.
A party.
I feel like
shindig.
this podcast has just become one person saying something that they understand and the other 2 or 3 being completely confused and having no idea what's going on.
Well, so
This
Craig,
is good. No,
That's
no,
what a podcast
this is
how
good.
you doing,
This
boy?
is good.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I can't complain. Not a whole lot's different.
You know what? I feel like that there's gonna be a lot of those, like just parties, hopefully fucking
Yeah.
venues, and tours and shows, and
Yep.
hopefully more than we know what to do with. You know. So yes,
That'd
a
be
blowout,
nice.
a party, all of those things. I'm about
Well,
it.
yo,
Too much partying.
I have seen so many shows listed across all of the U.S. that, like, so have you guys seen this? Are there actually
Oh, yeah,
bands? Like, are
it's-
things open? I saw Chicago's
Well,
trying to open on
so-
Friday, right?
Yeah, so Chicago is opening on Friday, which will
Cool.
be tremendous. Yeah, a lot of shows going up, a lot of touring. But, and this is where I'm kind of starting to get a little about it, is they're already starting to cancel things as well. So as many things are beginning, there are also things canceling. Not here in the States, because we've all committed to the idea of partying, right? But like in Europe right now, like they straight up
Wayne's
cancel.
World,
Yeah,
party
Wayne's World,
time.
Party time. Excellent. Woo, 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 woo. But like in Europe right now, like they canceled Summer Breeze, which is like a very, very big like hard rock and metal fest. The Viking metal band Amon Amarth have recently canceled their Europe run. So I guess we're just gonna kind of see and wait it out. It was one of those things where like this morning I was thinking about it and just decided to get on the old Google and realize like we are so, like here in the States, like obviously Tyler, you understand this to some extent or another, but we are so far ahead of like fully vaccinated. Like, did you know that we already have something like 55% of people here in the States are fully vaccinated, and then 65% have already at least had one shot, one.
And
one
that
shot.
is globally speaking insane. Even
Yeah.
the UK has
Oh, yeah.
fallen
Yeah.
way behind us.
It's
yeah.
really like I was just checking random places like just I was talking to Constantine the other day, so I thought, oh, Bulgaria, 9%.
Yeah.
and,
Oh my
and
gosh.
Canada is 22%. Like I mean, just all over. It's like we're doing pretty well comparatively speaking. Like again, I'm very happy for our sake, but I'm also very concerned about everywhere else.
The
But,
fucking world. Yeah.
the rest of the world, yeah. But it makes sense why you're starting to kind of see these festivals and shows getting canceled, unfortunately. But
All right, so in Illinois,
uh-huh.
95 out of every 100 people has been dosed. And it says
That's crazy.
well, it's not 95%. I don't know why that makes sense. That's like
Yeah.
doses per 100 people, 94.9. But it's wow.
Oh,
So, okay. Second dose administered. Illinois is at 38.3%.
Okay.
56 at first dose.
Mhm.
Texas is at 45% first dose and second dose at 34,
wow.
which is a huge amount of people. Holy shit.
Oh no, yeah, it's
All
great.
right, here we go.
It's
Whole
great.
United States. Second dose administered. Holy fuck. 39.1% of the whole United States has been fully vaccinated in terms of second dose, like already settled. And then in terms of administered.
Settled or admitted? So you mean the 2 weeks like
Yeah.
processing period after
Yeah.
the fact? Okay.
And well over 50% has had at least the first dose.
Wow.
Well, yo, if
Yeah.
you're looking stuff up, look up Canada. I want to say that the half vaccinated is like 60 or 70%, but the fully vaccinated is like 10.
It doesn't want to tell me.
What?
Hang on. COVID.
I bet it'll tell me. I live here.
It requires a real place to gather data.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sorry.
say.
A real fake
Canada
Canadian.
is not real.
I'll do
Well,
it.
right after I typed in Canada vaccination, it said, "Did you mean Candyland vaccination?"
And Trevor was like,
Oh
yes.
my god, guys. Okay. So it's actually worse than I thought. It is So it's not telling me what percentage has one dose. Oh wait, yeah, it is. 65% has one dose, but 8.5% is fully vaccinated.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I just got this pulled up too.
So there we go.
Wait,
I saw, and again, I don't know if it was like a clickbait headline or something. I was on YouTube, and it was like one of the mainstream media news, channels, but they were saying that apparently there was word that the Canadian government might approve of mixing various providers.
Oh, they already have.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. With AstraZeneca, if you got a shot of AstraZeneca,
Yeah.
they are encouraging you to get an mRNA-based vaccine for your second shot.
Oh.
And that will permit you, under law, to be quote-unquote fully vaccinated.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you've gotten a Pfizer or a Moderna shot, yes, in certain places, I think Yukon Territory and also maybe Alberta or something, or Saskatchewan, they did that already. They said that, like, as long as you got a shot of mRNA, just
Yeah.
get another one and you'll be good.
Okay.
So here's
So no, they've already started that.
Wow.
This report also says that since last week, this is a pretty big amount, but at the same time, it's not. So in just 1 week, Canada has vaccinated 1% of its population. So
Thank
it's
you,
doing
Joe
about
Biden.
it's doing about 400,000 people a week. Whereas the United States is probably not far off that, but in terms of the 1%, but 1% being 35,000 people,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
or
I mean, things are catching up.
350,000 people.
Yeah,
Well,
so, like, I want to say if I was...
3.5 million. There's the number.
Quick math.
Yes. But yeah, if I was going to be, not going back to the U.S., I'd be able to get a second shot in the middle of July or somewhere around there.
How come?
Yeah.
Which, like, that's not that bad, which means when I come back, hopefully things will be a little bit more, the way they were a year and a half
I guess
ago.
I just fully underestimate this whole vaccination process because, I mean, I shit you not. Mine was like, I feel like getting a vaccine. And from the moment I had that thought, an hour and a half later, I had been vaccinated.
That's insane.
Like, think about it. Like, from the moment I had that thought, and then to me, pulling out my phone, scheduling it, going and getting it, drive through whole thing, and then they automatically schedule my second shot 4 weeks out from there. And then I showed up, and 30 minutes later, I got that one. Like, it's taken me less than 3 hours to be fully vaccinated. Thinking about it.
Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're a virus out there, don't fuck around with Texas.
It's best you don't.
Yeah,
Yo,
we got
Trevor,
the virus guns, bro.
Right?
Speaking of
This
Texas,
town ain't big enough for the two of us, virus. Patow.
speaking of Texas and all things big and virus,
Yeah.
have you been to Amarillo, any of you?
No.
I've definitely driven through.
I feel like I've driven through it
99%
too.
sure.
but
Yeah,
not
like
there.
we did that on tour, right? Didn't
Probably.
we drive through
Probably.
there? Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
any of you know about the Big Texan?
Oh.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Explain. I
Okay.
think I know. Okay.
So
go on.
I thought that it was a little bit more of like a road trip folklore than it seems to actually be. But there's
Okay.
this fucking restaurant on the highway going through Amarillo
Uh-huh.
that has it's bright yellow. It's huge. It's on the side of the road. It has a giant 3 parking space wide like metal or paper mache cow outside. It's huge.
I've seen it.
Oh my
It's as
God.
tall as the restaurant. This giant cow.
Oh my
And this is
God.
like a giant 2 or 3 story restaurant, right? But yeah, so next time we go through Amarillo, we all got to get a 72-ounce steak and look at that cow
72 ounces.
because it's the home of the 72-ounce steak.
Bro,
Oh
I
my
think we
God.
drove by the slaughterhouse
one
that feeds
and
that, and it
split
was
it.
disgusting.
Yeah.
You know
oh wait,
what?
sorry.
Actually,
Yeah,
you know
Trevor.
what?
No,
I'm
yeah,
about
you're
it.
right.
Craig has to eat the whole 72-ounce
Oh,
steak.
fuck you.
Bro, if he's going to be reintroduced back into meat, it's going to be the baddest thing he can get. And that sounds like a
God.
pretty bad thing. You know what? You should eat 1 per head, so you should have 4 of them.
Jesus.
That sounds horrible.
Dude, see, I remember the time that you got nothing but a giant box of like mushrooms and broccoli at
what you mean,
that
I remember.
place
It's
that was
just-
like Whole
That's
Foods.
always Craig.
Next,
you mean
72
dinner
ounce
every
steak.
night?
72-ounce steak.
What if it was a mushroom steak?
Oh,
No, I,
cauliflower steak? Cauliflower steak?
Yeah.
I got a great story about mushrooms.
Dude, seitan? Oh, love seitan.
Seitan is good.
Man, I fucking love Satan. Hell yeah.
I used to get seitan bacon. Fucking delicious.
Oh yeah, dude.
But yo, so mushrooms. Today, I was working with Ankit, our boy. He was on our cast.
Hell
I got
yes.
him the job at the paint shop. So there's a fucking color at the paint shop called shiitake. I
Oh,
kid
cool.
you not. And he takes a
It's
picture
throw
of it.
up green, right? Something like that.
It's like this nasty kind of, not quite green, more of a pucey, a raw umber, if you will. Sorry, I'm
Shut
a color
up.
expert.
Just
Nice.
shut up.
But anyway, yeah. So so Ankit takes a picture of this, and I guess like the focus was a little off or whatever, maybe on the guy's phone. And he runs up to me and goes, "Hey man, I swear this guy just ordered this color called Shit Lake. Can you look at this?" It's like, wait, hold on, my guy. Shit Lake?
Shit Lake Green.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
I pop it in. No, it wasn't Shit Lake. But
I
it
can
looked
imagine
kind of
him
like a
saying
Shit Lake
that, too.
color.
That's so good. That's so good.
That is pretty good.
It was amazing. It
I don't want to
made
try.
my day.
I don't want to even try his accent, but I can imagine him going up to you like, "Hey, Tyler,
It's best you don't. Please,
Tyler,
please.
could you read this for me?"
Well, no, I mean, no, you guys know Ankit. You know, he just runs up. Hey, bro, can you look at this? I was like, "Yeah, sure, dog. Well, what's up?" He holds up his phone. Does this say Shit Lake? I was like, that's hard to read, but no. Let me check this. Do. Shiitake. We're good.
You forgot the signature move though.
I had to confirm it. What's up?
I said you forgot the signature move though. Hey bro, trying to figure out like what color this is. Does it say Shit Lake?
Very true. We'll see at Sherwin-Williams. He at the paint shop. My
Yeah.
boy's
Okay.
professional. He's got a very confident, very professional.
Oh, he does the
When
thumbs
he's,
up.
when he's
okay.
in the shop,
Okay.
goes home.
Nice.
I'm about it.
That's good. That's good.
That's really
We
good.
keep things professional.
That's very good.
So like when we play, like when we're on tour, he's very, and then when it's like you guys are going on Jimmy Fallon, it's very much a.
No. It's like he goes to a rock show and then it's.
And then if it doesn't rock, he's like. Yeah.
You guys,
Or that. Yeah. No. Definitely.
do you all remember our? Well, Trevor, I guess you might not have met him, but our Canadian friend James from Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope, yeah.
Lycanthrope.
So James, my apologies, James. So like this guy is the freaking friendliest teddy bear of a human, just the nicest guy.
He's
I
very
imagine him and his rock and roll antics, just rock and roll with Ankit and his timid rock and roll. And I think that would be a great combo.
That would be a good combo.
I want to see those two front to band.
That'd be great.
I'm down.
It'd be very.
I would. You know what? I'll start them up. Let me give them the first 3,000.
First
3,000.
3,000. 3,000 what? Wait, what?
Maybe
Volts?
4,000.
Wow. Just
He's just passing out thousands now, boys.
hey, so
Could
this
be
is the part
5.
of the podcast where we talk about crypto.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm
Will
just gonna
bucks.
pay you in 3,000 and 4,000. Wait, 3,000
Trevor-
or 4,000 what?
Trevor's a
Will
millionaire,
bucks.
if you will. So
Yes.
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
can afford this.
That's right.
I have many Williams.
Manny Williams.
Every week I'm putting out a new cryptocurrency and new NFTs. There's Williamaires, there's Will Bucks, there's Will Coin, there's
Now I thought Wilbucks was the coffee company.
I mean, yeah, but they kind of bleed into each other. It's like sister companies, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Can we briefly talk about NFTs? Like, are you guys aware of these things?
I'm aware of them, and I have a. Go ahead, Will.
nice fucking titties, right? That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
Like I said, I'm
Right? Is
aware
that
of
what that
them,
is?
oh my god.
No,
Okay.
so NFTs to me, and again, I am not educated on this stuff. I'm really
Yes.
not. I have
Yeah.
friends who would love our album of the week, who are passionate about NFTs. But honestly, I don't super get it because it basically is only valid if you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, then you're not buying or getting anything.
And that's kind of a huge problem.
I agree.
And that is
It's-
why every business major will tell you to not, maybe 10% of your whole portfolio, max. But I don't, it can be a huge problem if, like, I don't know, you invest your life into this kind of stuff and then the government decides we're not accepting any of this anymore.
Yeah.
Trevor, NFTs though are a product. They're not a currency.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I understand, but they're used in the blockchains, right?
Not quite like that.
No?
Yeah.
No, so they are a non-fundable,
non-
functional, pointable,
Fungible, like
fungible. Yeah, fungible. That's
yeah,
it.
with a G,
Yeah.
with a G, yes.
Yeah, non-fungible transaction transfer. One of those two. I'm sorry, I
Something
sound
like
like such an
that.
idiot. But yeah, like those, they're a product. So it's like
Yeah.
a digital first edition,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is absolutely nuts because by nature of digital distribution,
Yeah.
when you download, quote unquote, transfer, whatever, even if the other person deletes it, and again,
It's still
I'm sure
just a copy.
it's all copy. It's digital.
just a copy, yep.
And also, let's say, your hard drive dies, whatever. It becomes like any other data.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. And by
Yeah.
that matter, the meaning of an NFT being a digital transaction, the result of a digital purchase, that isn't particularly new, but unto itself of a digital art,
Yeah.
print, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get it. If you can profit from it, if you're that kind of person who wants to day trade, who wants to do all that, fair. But if you want to invest in art, I don't get it as
Okay,
an
okay.
artistic investment.
So that's the interesting part. Okay, so it's not a currency, but
Yes.
it's an image that has like the digital information to store whatever it is you want to store in it, and
So-
it can store some kind of like
a lot of the time, it's an image.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of the time it's an image. It can contain music. That is something that it can contain. I'd actually heard recently about a story of some pop band that was actually planning on selling their new record as an NFT that would come with the digital album cover and then the MP3s for the full album, and only one person in the world can buy it. And whether or not that person who was going to buy it wants to share the music out or keep it to themselves was completely up to them. And I thought, like, that's really cool. Like, I thought that was one example of something that I was like, that's really interesting. Like, you can be the high buyer that says, I'm going to keep this band's special singular album to myself if I so choose. But at that point, it's less about what an NFT really is, which is that digital image, and it's more about the music that comes with it, so to speak. You know?
Well,
No,
and
but-
that's
but again-
existed too. Like, think of Martin Shkreli and the fucking the douchebag pharmaceutical guy,
Uh-huh.
and the oh god, it was not Migos, but oh my god, Wu-Tang Clan. He had the
Okay.
Wu-Tang album 45 EP something.
Okay.
That's, to my knowledge, never got released because
Okay.
he purchased the one physical vinyl pressing and didn't release it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
okay.
that's existed before, and I want to say
Yeah.
that transaction happened on like fucking eBay.
Oh,
Something
really?
insane. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think art, what makes art what it is essentially is one's ability to accept it as art and care for it and whatnot. And somebody can look at something like the Mona Lisa and just be like, it's a fucking picture. Like, why the fuck is this worth, millions and millions of dollars? Like, technically, not that it would be sold, but like, what's so valuable about it? And one could say the same thing about NFTs, I suppose, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know if I sent it in our group chat or not, but like, I don't know if you guys saw that the Charlie Bit My Finger video got turned into an NFT, that old YouTube video that the kid, and that's sold for something like over $750,000.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And like that's what I mean. Like, it's, if it were something like, I heard I was listening to the last Tim Dillon podcast where he did a live show at the Bitcoin convention in Miami. And so one of his and one of his guest panelers up there was Jake Paul, as we all know, is not exactly the brightest person, but he did make an interesting point in the NFT debate. Was he's like think about it like really high profit, like skins in Call of Duty. You know what I mean? He's like, there are certain people, in this world, it could be Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever the fuck you want to play, that will spend, in some cases, hundreds of dollars customizing digital characters for themselves, to kind of play a game with. Why is it so different? At which point I would say, well, because I can make one skin for a character that'll cost me $15 and not $750,000 for Charlie Bit My Fucking Finger, like.
So,
it's weird.
But by selling that NFT, that person then owns Charlie Bit My Finger.
Yes, in theory, yes.
That is the whole point of it, is that the buyer, whether it can be screenshotted, shared, whatever, the person who owns the NFT, like, will actually physically owns that product in a case of law, which is the biggest court. And like,
but you can't, like, for example, though, if before, I don't know if it got taken down yet, but I know the video was supposed to be removed after the NFT sold. If at any point I decided to, like, screen capture, the full Charlie Bit My Finger video and then repost it to Instagram, I can't get it taken down. Like you don't suddenly become the owner of, like, the rights for the video to go up anywhere else by any other person.
No, but you own that property.
You own the original copy.
Yeah.
But it's not the original copy, though. Because
but that's what
you know what I'm saying?
It's derived from it, and that's the best you can do.
But it's not. It's not
exactly. I get it, man. I know.
No, but it's like, okay, it's like a record label owns the fucking master tapes of a record, but you can also buy the vinyl and buy the CD and then download it and then torrent it. You know what I mean? So,
but unlike an NFT, a record label that sees somebody put up the I don't know, the Mystical album, if they don't own the Mystical album, the record label has every right to actually just have YouTube remove that. NFT holder does not have any right to remove Charlie Bit My Finger from Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever,
I think it's less of that, and I think it's more of a, like, listen to this, anyone can view the individual image or even the entire collage of images online for free. So why are people willing to spend millions on something they could easily screenshot or download? Because an NFT allows the buyer to own the original item. Not only that, but it contains a built-in authentication which serves as proof of ownership, mostly for collector's value and quote-unquote digital bragging rights, almost more than
clout.
Itself the item.
And like I said, its value comes if you believe in it.
But again, the proof of purchase. The proof of purchase is in the digital information.
But there's a difference between owning something. So here's where Craig's argument comes in, and it's the concept of I can post whatever I want. I can screenshot whatever I want, and I could take my downloaded copy of Charlie Bit My Finger and post that on YouTube and just right there at the bottom say, like, I don't own this. And it can't be taken down because I'm not on a I'm not being paid to post videos on YouTube. So I can post whatever I want, and I can say whatever I want. And like, or I could post it on Pornhub. You know, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's just that freedom of speech and the right to kind of share what you want. However, I think if I was to try to sell it, that's where you have trouble, because then it's like, well, wait, Craig owns this. You can't sell it, you know, and like, where's the proof of that? Well, Craig has literally the NFT, which says that he is the owner, and the only way to get that NFT is for him to literally transfer that to you, which he won't do because he owns that. So here's the other thing that caught my eye on this. So I don't think it's that popular. Also, like, as much groundbreaking news is making, I guess I should read when this was written.
It has enough people with enough
this is
money to
recently.
make it what it is.
Okay, but check this out. Since November of 2017, $174 million has been spent on NFTs.
Oh my god.
But I don't think that's that much if people are spending $30 million on one video.
Well, but,
In 5 years,
That means someone is spending $30 million
Yeah.
on
But-
an MP4
but
file,
you know what I mean?
man.
Like, but that's what I mean. Like, that's 1/5 of that total in 5 years.
I think
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, the media
dude,
industry is like, trading is like
I'm-
billions of dollars. Like,
Dude, there are enough small artists lately that I have seen try and get onto this NFT thing that, like, it's not like 5 people have made, or, you know, 5 transactions.
no.
have made
That's
up
what
all
I'm
this.
saying, though. Like, but it doesn't. I would like to see that sounds like a big number, but I'd rather see, like, well, how many transactions have been made?
I mean, I have seen people as small as, like, I think the band Deerhoof, and also, here's a funny one, Adrian Ballou from King Crimson and all
King
this.
Crimson.
Yeah.
He has been pushing his own line of NFTs, and a bunch of people, you know, gave him shit for it on Facebook. But, yeah, he's been making, like,
I need to get into
digital
that
art.
comment section.
It's there, trust me, you can find it. Go a week back.
I mean, I guess I get the idea. You know, like you mentioned with like video games. Like, okay, here's a Fortnite skin. There's only okay. Actually, I got a better one. There was a guy that won the Call of Duty tournament, and like they turned his gun skin into an NFT, and they sold it. And that guy is the only one who owns that skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could technically mod the game to look like it, but in terms of literally being able to select this as the rightful one, he is the owner of that. So I can see that as
feels like
being
more
kind
a
of cool.
trophy.
But that's kind of what it says. It's mostly is like what did you
Yeah.
what was the word you used earlier? Like, it's all kind of for show, like bragging rights in a way. Like,
It's clout.
Well,
It's,
see,
it's-
here's one
yeah.
thing that, like, again, I am not on the NFT wagon, but I've heard this posed against myself. Is actual physical art collecting any different?
no, I
No.
I would, but it
No, it's
depends.
not.
It depends on what it is you're getting.
I mean, yes, you have a certain established medium of display in terms of, you know, the just museums and that whole system,
Yeah.
and people who are who support the arts and whatnot. There's a word for that. Good grief.
I know. I totally can understand that. Like, let's say it's just a way to digitally do shit like this. So, like, for example, let's say I'm a Twitch streamer and I Twitch stream me doing like digital media. Like, I have like a little paint thing or whatever, and then at the end of my Twitch stream, like, I pick a random user and I give them that. And you know, it's now all of a sudden you could be like, oh yeah, do you know this Twitch? Like, oh yeah, well look, I have 3 of his things. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like I just commented and he gave me 3. So it's almost the same as like, oh yeah, that guy threw his pick in the audience and I caught it. Like, and that's where I kind of see that collector's concept. But again, I think it does depend on what it is. You know.
Well, see, what I was thinking of was philanthropy and the network of philanthropists.
Philanthropy, yes.
Yes, the network of philanthropists that that actually maintain a lot of like classical music or the art world.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist for this medium. Which, again, does that mean that without a bunch of rich folks donating to your cause, your art is not worth anything? Of course not. But the digital distribution in terms of what you're actually standing up for the product, again, it all comes down to, do you believe in the product? Which I don't think is... We obviously would not be comfortable enough to invest in that kind of product. But the fact that it has, again, fetched the sort of sums it has... does mean, honestly, that it has value at the very least, even if it is perceived value, just like a cryptocurrency.
That's
that
what I was going to
value
say.
does exist.
I think it's a value to someone. There's people out there that the U.S. dollar is worth nothing to them, and for whatever reason, but to them it's.
I mean, you believe in it just the same way, but you know what I mean.
I believe in my plastic credit card.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, guys, in a certain sense, again, and I'm not advocating for, the NFTization of art.
Correct.
But plugins. Think about it. You're buying a digital recreation.
That's licensing.
Of a real thing. I get it, but you're buying, a digital means of another product. Is that any different? The fact that we've accepted that as a means of something, yes, that is a digital tool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It
is a tool. It serves a purpose.
Yeah.
But I simply mean, again, not to sound like our fellow here, but for the sake of argument, whatever that guy's name is, just
hypothetically speaking.
Yes, hypothetically speaking.
For your sake of hypothetical argument.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
I don't know. I think we can conclude that we don't know. However, just like
let me tell you what I
if
think.
you believe in it, it's.
Here's what I conclude. I conclude that this is just a glorified digital. What do you call it? Notary stamp.
Yes.
Of authentic.
Yes.
It's. I like you kind of mentioned with plugins, like licensing and copyrights have been around forever. This just kind of sounds like another one.
But okay. I just want to say that, like, again, in my own, like, I guess, relative ignorance of all this shit. So the difference between, I guess, cryptocurrencies and anything that uses a fucking blockchain. Again, these are words that I kind of don't necessarily understand to a full extent. And for example, transactions made through regular credit card companies, right? Mm-hmm. For example, you pay for something and then you didn't like it, or you bought something thinking it was going to be something and then you received it and it was less, and so you tell your credit card company to give a chargeback to the person or company you bought it from, and so they sent an amount of money and then they canceled it through a chargeback, right? That happens all the time with credit card transactions for any number of reasons. I just made one up just because. Yeah. But like chargebacks and credit card companies is like, oh, you pay for something and then there's a chargeback, so you paid a little bit less, essentially, right? You paid with this, it's, from what I understand, it's a one-way transaction regardless, and that's why it's where the blockchain thing comes in, where like the currency can only travel, currency in quotation marks, can only travel in one direction, and this is just one of the different, I don't know, iterations of that. NFTs is just another cryptocurrency that, because it's a cryptocurrency, it only goes in one way. So like if for some reason you decide to cancel it, you can't. You already sent it to this person and they have proof of having that thing.
I mean,
even though it is only digital.
The only thing again with this is that the NFT is not the currency but the product.
Yeah. But it goes through the system, through the internet, that it can only go in. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely hear. Like I've heard different, like, again, this is all like weird shit that Craig reads online because Craig finds weird shit sometimes. But like, I was reading this article a couple weeks ago that was talking about how, like, apparently, there's been some discussion, I mean, with cryptocurrency in general, but specifically NFTs, where they're actually using them as a purpose to make transactions for like hardcore drugs, right? So like rather than trying to pay in traceable cash money or whatnot, like you can just pay with an NFT or Bitcoin or whatnot, and that's where I absolutely get what Will's saying. It's
well, it's like the concept
system.
of like when I worked at Target, people what they would do is they would take stolen credit cards, and then as soon as they steal them, they dump it all on Target gift cards.
Oh shit! Okay.
And
okay.
the idea is
so
that-
even if they
that when
get the
they're-
charge back, they have the gift card money.
It's all in gift card, and so it's like where'd they go spend it on? It's like, well, they didn't buy a TV or anything. Well, we don't know. Like,
Yeah.
and then when they come to Target and they spend a couple $1,000s on stuff that looks sketchy and whatever, like it's gonna go through. Like they're just like,
Well,
it's all
guys,
good.
again, the only difference here, though, is the fact that an NFT is, again, it's basically a piece of art.
Yeah.
Idealistically. So it's not quite a Target gift card in the fact that it has an immediately exchangeable value.
It's traded with
is,
Ethereum typically.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of it that way, it is barter. Like you could barter an NFT, you could sell an NFT, you could garner profit off of it.
Look, to add on to my thing about like how much money they're spending to where I think it's not that many people. Like it says Jack Dorsey sold the first tweet on Twitter for $2.9 million as an NFT.
Trevor, barter means that no money was exchanged.
No, I understand that, but in terms of these numbers, like I think people are trying to get people involved in this for almost scam-like reasons. Like it's
No, definitely.
I see.
like
Yeah.
I think okay, let's like if you do the math, like the guy you quoted at, let's say that was a $30 million, $25 million. This is $2-3 million. If that's most of these, and then you got a couple of other famous guys,
Dude,
let's say that's
isn't though.
But
there's all kinds of cheap ones.
All
like
right, so I'm gonna
$200, $300, $400, $500.
I'm gonna play it. Like let's push that end of it though. Like let's say there's like between 2,000 and 5,000 transactions of NFTs. Okay, like if there's like that many, with some being super high millions and some not, that could add up to 174 million, right? Between 2 and 5. So if that's over 5 years, that's not a lot of people. But that's enough to make the news and then get all these other people to try and throw all their money in Ethereum so that they can start trading on this, and then which drives the price of Ethereum up, and then these guys just sell it all off and take all these money. Because here's the thing about cryptocurrency that people don't understand. If people are making or losing money in cryptocurrency, someone else is making or losing money. Because there's only a finite amount, and people have so many hedge funds against cryptocurrencies that like either the hedge funds are winning or the cryptocurrency guys are winning. And I only know this because there's a guy that shops at my bike shop that has told me in depth about it, that he manages a hedge fund like against these cryptocurrencies. And so
Against
this like
them. Nice.
just in the like time I've read this, it kind of did like just thinking about it, it almost sounds to me like it's a cool way to be able to be like almost a collector's thing, like buying a tweet, you know, or buying the first, like they were saying, like people were buying like film from like highlights from like basketball games and stuff, and they'd be like, oh, I own that 30 seconds of this game, which was like the game winning whatever. And to me this sounds just like an advertisement to get people to buy into this shit. That's all this sounds like to me. It's like look how cool this is, and it's not really that cool, and it's like, but look how big it's become. It's like, that's not really that big, you know. And they're like, but it's been around like for this long. It's like, that's not really that long. Like, you know, you start looking at it and you go, if you're talking about an entire like grand exchange, like this should be a lot bigger numbers and much more things being traded, but it's not. It just sounds like people who don't own shit that want to own shit because they're stuck at home and they don't want to own shit. Like now you have a way to own lame shit that could be cool, in, you know, but at the same time, it's like you said, whether you believe in it or not, like it kind of values it. So like to me, it's kind of worthless.
So in conclusion,
What do
nice
you
fucking
believe?
titties are better.
Nice fucking titties are much better.
And they have
you know,
Damn.
but you know who else likes nice fucking titties? Rammstein.
Album of the week. I will never stop doing this. All right,
Beautiful.
don't, kiddos.
Ba,
You know
ba, ba,
what?
ba.
I've had fun talking about this stupid fucking bullshit, but guess what? We live in the real world. We don't live in Ready Player One.
Yeah, we
town,
just discuss this stuff. What we're really interested in.
What
we really love.
What we really love.
Are Till Lindemann's NFTs. You know what I'm saying? All right. So
I feel like the Rammstein guys are into this shit. Or at least one of them.
Probably.
I don't know.
Never
I don't know.
touch
Maybe.
Frank.
Yes. But yeah. So for this week, I've got Rammstein's 2001 Mutter album. Man, my brain is like so gone right now talking about things that don't matter that I'm just like my head hurts. But regardless, no. Yeah. So this album, guys. So I didn't want to say anything just early, too early, I should say. But I will be warning you now. Based on your review of this album, may or may not depend how much longer you're gonna be in this band. So if you have anything negative to say, you'd better just not say it or just smile and nod when I ask you what you thought of this album, because this is a really big one. This is like
yes.
In regards to yes, in regards to Craig's musical backgrounds, Rammstein has been in my top favorite. I can't even say like metal bands, but just bands in general, music period, for a very, very long time. And this album was definitely the main start of it. But yeah, so before I get into story time and all the rad things that my life has kind of involved Rammstein one way or another, we'll just talk about the album. So again, 2001, interesting year, to say in the least. But we got this glorious industrial somewhat album. Like I said at the end of last week's episode, it's kind of hard to talk to certain people about industrial music because just like prog, it seems to mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, depending on who you ask. But like, fuck it, I'll have an opinion. I think this is industrial music. I really do think so. I think in regards to a band that's able to marry together a great palette of sampled sounds, original music, orchestration, all these things, and then put it in a very professional, stern German man package. I think they pull it off. I think it's a really big one. And Mutter, I think, is kind of, at least in my opinion, musically speaking, the best album they've ever made. So first and foremost, it is their third album. Before this one, they had Sehnsucht, and then before Sehnsucht, they had oh god, I think it was just the self-titled, or no, self-titled is what was the last one, or the one before that called? I don't want to look, but I think I need to. Hold on.
I'm looking.
You're looking?
I'm definitely looking. I can't pronounce them, but
Hairslide. It's called Hairslide.
1995.
Yes. 1995, yeah. And man, oh man. So first thing you guys will notice is this album is absolutely chocked full of singles. Like single, and the honest to God's truth is if you listen to their music, you're going to realize that wasn't intentional. These guys just know how to write really good fucking songs that I think happen to turn out to be single worthy. And like this one is absolutely of no exception. Just going through the old track listing between all the tunes. Of course, you've got your wonderful Feuer Foy, which was featured in, if you guys ever remember seeing the original Triple X movie with Vin Diesel. No? Okay,
nice.
Trevor
yes,
does.
Yes,
Will does.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I never put the two together, but now you mention it, I can kind of remember it.
Once I heard the track, I was like, Vin!
I know that. Yeah. It's, so I'll explain for Tyler. So
Thank you.
the opening of the movie literally starts at some crazy rich European guy's castle, and Rammstein's playing on a stage for like a couple hundred people in a crowd.
In the movie?
And the movie.
That's sick. Okay.
And they've got fire shooting out of masks. Feuerfeuer literally meaning open fire, or free fire technically. But and then the guy gets the spy guy, whatever the original Triple X before Vin Diesel comes in talking about family. He comes in, he gets shot, and that's that.
And then it's about family.
And then it's about family. Sonne, which means sun, probably my favorite song ever written. Like literally my favorite song ever written. I mean, I could go through all this shit, but I guess my point being is I don't know if there's any way you could ever find out how many plays any singular piece of music has ever been like done on an i whatever, but I'd be willing to bet that this is this is not only the first thing on the list, like with the most amount of plays, but it's also probably the most amount of plays over the next thing by multiple thousands of listens. Like, there was a point of time where I was listening to this album 3, 4, 5 times a day for literally months at a time. Like, it really makes no sense. It's
Beautiful.
Yeah, man. It's just a good time. The choruses hit hard as fuck. The melodies are great. Till's vocals are just oof. And the orchestration's really tremendous. The riffs rock hard. They really rock hard. Like, sometimes you're sitting there and you're like saying to yourself, like, this feels very Metallica. And why? Because they're huge Metallica fans. Like, they're, you know what I mean? Like, they're actually a really interesting band that was born out of the collapse of the wall. 2 of the members were on the east side and 2 of the members were on the west side. And when it came down, they all started playing music together. And then that's where that first record comes from. Really just wild shit. Fuck, I'm trying to think. I'll save a couple other stories for a little later in this discussion. But I first and foremost, I just want to hear what you guys have to say, man. This is kind of, I'm curious.
What are they selling?
What are they selling? That's the question.
Rammstein. I remember when they first invented chocolate. I always hated it.
Nah.
Chocolate.
So wait, okay. My mistake. Honestly, I heard this, or I thought I was listening to this.
Okay.
And I hated it. But then I realized I heard some like really badly pirated version, and it wasn't okay. It was, the audio was horrible, and then it was in like the wrong, like, I don't know,
track list.
Yeah, it was not the right track order. And
which is a mistake with this album. This album, and the track listing is really good on this. Really important.
Yeah. So
yeah.
After I realized my mistake in my consumption of this media, and I found the right one. Dude, I fucking fuck with this heavy. No, this is great.
Cool. Cool. Very glad. Very glad.
You know what? I'm just gonna straight off the bat. Zwitter. Oh.
Yeah, Zwitter.
Dude,
Zwitter. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was that pumped me up. That pumped me up a lot.
Man.
And
Ein für mich, zwei für mich.
It was just,
it's really
This was a record that it snuck up on you.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm listening to it and I'm vibing to it and I'm liking it, and then a song comes up and I just fucking love it, you know.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like a lot of singles, which is why the song order is so important. Like, if you're listening to it on shuffle, it might not feel right. It'll be like, oh, this is meh. Okay. So in that first version that I heard, which again, not the official one, and I didn't even care to find out or remember where it was because it was just awful and bad.
Totally fair.
It was like, it literally felt like the same song over and over to the point where like I couldn't remember which song was which one, or like I couldn't pinpoint a melody from like riffs and shit.
Okay.
in the order that it is, like Mein Herz brennt, then Links 2, 3, 4, Sun, right?
Yep.
It does have a lot of movement
Yes.
to it. So a question:
Yes.
how close is, I guess, what you would call the industrial genre to like EDM, or like, I don't know,
Or I would go ahead and give this one the old absolutely. No, I mean,
okay.
in all reality, so the way that I kind of understand, so like the big thing with the industrial genre in general, like first and foremost, is sampling, right? There's a lot of sample-based stuff going on. It kind of gives it the sound, the White Zombie shit, the Ministry shit, whatnot. But I think the second most important rule of industrial music, at least when it's done proper, is it has a very obvious pulse to it. It's almost dance-like,
Yes.
Like an EDM would be. And that's kind of, like I've heard back in 2000 and I think it was 11 or 12, they actually put out kind of like a White Pony style reissue version of like a greatest hits where they called oh god, I can't even it's definitely on my computer. I definitely have it. I think it's literally just called Made in Germany 1995 to 2011. There we go. And so the entire second disc of this is like kind of their greatest hits up to that point, but like reshopped and redone by like all these guys, everybody from Meshuggah, Devin Townsend, Clawfinger, Jacob Hellner, like just all these guys, Pet Shop Boys, fucking Jesus Christ. But like all of these guys that did remixes, and it's the thing I find the most interesting is the songs are so naturally dance-like that when you start adding all this extra bullshit on top of it, it still feels like a a thing, you know? At no point did you ever find yourself being like, I can't tell this is the same song anymore, because it's all there, because it's really hard to fuck these tunes up.
Okay, so that being said, in the again, in the song order for the album, yes, there's like a consistent almost dance feel to them, but what really sets them apart is like the dynamics in between them. Like some of the songs start out really soft, or like I feel like, again, I can't pronounce it. I believe it's the 7th one. Like
Spieluhr.
Yeah. So there's Mutter, which is like, I feel like the title track is like the most emotional one, but then the 7th one starts with like him just talking, and I'm like, you're kind of like, oh.
Ein kleiner Mensch
stirbt,
nur zum Scheiß.
I'm not gonna lie, that reminded me of Dwight Schrute.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Just
it's totally
the way. When I heard that, I was like, what?
Yeah. So it's like consistently I want to say upbeat, but it has like what you just did, the and it's kind of obvious, but then like the dynamics in between the songs is kind of like, oh, this one's like really emotional, and then you're dancing and you're sad, and then this one's like, I don't know what the fuck it is about, but I'm fucking digging it.
Partying at the disco with like tears running down your face.
Yeah. Yes.
Wayne's World. Time.
But
yeah, no, I mean, honestly, man, you're 100% spot on. They've got a real ways of keeping things very, very dance-like and very groovy, but also still being very emotional, between Mutter and Nebel, both being, pretty much ballad tunes.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting the way they've got it layered. There's even another song, so again, just serious fan here. There's a Japanese release of the same album that features an additional song on it called Hallelujah. And that song was specifically reserved for the Japanese release as well as the soundtrack to the original Resident Evil movie.
Nice.
Which is kind of weird, but pretty cool nonetheless. And it's like, on that one, they place it, I believe, right before Nebel, just so you kind of get those last ballad tunes that kind of fall at the end of the A side and at the end of the B side, kind of thing. and I tend to think that this nowadays I'm not gonna lie when I say I very much reserve this album. Like this is the kind of album I never want to like overdo to a point of like I can't listen to this anymore. So it kind of falls like this when I was kind of preparing myself for this one this week. I listened to it once, probably for the first time in well over a year. I would say probably,
Okay.
and like. It kind of like it was one of those things where I'm just getting flooded with memories and just like, oh my god, like this is crazy, but it kind of it still hits hard.
Well,
but yeah, no, I'm glad you took it that way, man.
I'll tell you one thing. I definitely want to listen to it more. Like
Cool.
I
Great. Yeah.
like I heard it and I was like, that was pretty cool. I want to listen to this again. Ah shit.
man.
I gotta deal with some random bullshit in the fucking overnight shift. Ah shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
No worries. No, I definitely get that, and I feel that. And I'd like to ask, just as a drummer, what did you think of that fucking snare sound?
Okay. I wanted to make a parenthesis about this. The fucking
Yes.
tones on this are pretty. They're solid. It's like
They're really
it's
good.
almost like the. It's almost like the wall of sound kind of vibe that, for example, Smashing Pumpkins would do.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the because of the time. Even though 2001 isn't that separate from like Smashing Pumpkins, I felt like
Yeah.
this was slightly more cleanly produced.
It's much more
Definitely.
cohesive.
I got that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. The
Yeah.
guitars are more clear, but
Yep.
that doesn't take. They're not thin by any means.
Yeah.
It's just
Not at all.
clear, which
Yep.
is
Yep.
good too. The snare sound.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I don't think the snare sound was my favorite thing.
Interesting. Okay.
To me, not that it wasn't good, but was.
It just didn't stand out at the time.
Yeah, or again, I have to listen to it more. I want to listen to it more, but the snare wasn't the thing that was pulling me in. What was
Okay.
pulling me in was the fucking tom sounds.
Yeah, they're really
the rag
good, too.
toms and
Yeah.
the floor tom and bass drum.
Lots of resonance.
Yeah, but
It's
for example,
yeah.
there was one that had I don't know if it's Viter, number 8 or number 9.
Okay.
That like the kind of outro riff, it has like the drums are doing like a really repetitive fill, and he starts with
Okay.
like the highest tom he has that he's never used in the entire record, and it sounds almost like a rototom, but it sounds really good. But I swear it was like the whole time he's on like the snare, like
Yeah.
what I would imagine would be like the middle tom, and then like 2 big ass bass drums, and then in one
Okay.
song he hits 1 tiny ass tom, and it just stuck out. But I liked it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So the snare sound to me, it didn't stick out for I don't know what reasons, but also the snares, they varied a lot, which because I was listening to it for like the first or second time, I was kind of like almost not paying attention to it because I was like, oh, the snare's tone is changing in between songs. I'll just listen to the song as a whole and then decide
Gotcha.
whether or not I like it. But the toms matched really well with the guitars, and the guitars were like, just all over the place, like in your face, and then the vocals. So yeah, I love tone. 10 out of 10. Yes.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
if I might, I will say one thing commenting on that drum tone. Craig, you mentioned as far as the sample based qualities of EDM and a lot of industrial music.
Yes.
I noticed a lot of times this did have and I don't mean this in a bad way, but the triggered sample sound where it sounded like they matched up the transients of a lot of drums and layered samples with the original recordings.
That's
I think they used them.
That's
but they layered.
100% the truth. Yes. No,
Okay.
that is 100% the truth. I have no doubt that, like, I mean, even dating back to something like what is probably considered to be one of the best sounding rock metal albums of all time, Metallica's Black Album, right? Like, that thing is full of samples. Like, it's one of those things where it's just, when it works, and it's just, there are very specific moments throughout Mutter that, like, when he's hitting that snare, it just pops like a cannon. Like, the very first fill in Mein Herzbrennt that starts before the da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, right? So it's, let me think. Bukaka, dukaka, dam, ba. And then, like, every time it comes, it's just, it's huge. It's as big as the guitar sound, And I think it could be like that AC/DC thing where it's just, like, filling up the space when something else isn't playing, if that makes sense. That, like, da, pop, da-na-na, pop, da-na-na, pop, it
yes.
just works.
I also noticed, though, like, on the, I'm sure I'm going to botch this pronunciation, but on Rheinross, or whatever.
Rheinross.
Number 9,
yeah.
Rheinross.
Yes.
That one, if I recall, the chorus is very much like a double bass drum kind of thing. And then again, when that snare hits, it is very much a pow. It's very apparent. It's very well chosen.
Yes.
But no, I don't know, man. I mean, the samples at the same time, though, they didn't stand out to me in a way that, like, sounded particularly fake. I mean, this to me sounded like it represented associates to this genre in 5 to 10 years, meaning they were ahead of their time in terms of a lot of the production.
Definitely.
It sounded cleaner than I would have thought given the era.
Yes, absolutely.
So no, I mean, while I'm also going on about it, I thought it was a great record. I mean, so here's the thing with this record, is it's not available on Tidal along with, like, any other Rammstein album.
Interesting.
So my usual routine of walking around listening to the album of the week wasn't really possible because I had to rely on YouTube. But because of that, I watched this at work, and I also listened to this, like, at home, just going around here.
Yeah.
So one thing that was cool is certain YouTube playlists for this album will, like, swap out one studio track for a live track. Which, in terms of actually listening to the album, it's like, that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But I watched, I think it was on Ich Will, which I thought was hilarious.
Okay.
Ich Will.
Ich will.
Will, you want an itch, brother? A little... Yeah, a little...
Please,
but,
please scratch me. Yes.
Itch that will.
So on Itch Will, I saw one where the guy popped, I think it was at Madison Square Garden. So he popped out...
Which is what I'm going to talk to you guys about in a second. But
okay.
Go ahead.
So you might know this then. This guy came out in, like, an eagle wing angel suit thing.
That was Engel. That wasn't Ich will.
Never mind. Okay.
You're fine. Yep.
But yeah, so that was amazing to me. I know. I'm full of shit like usual. But yeah, so he popped out, and that thing was like the fucking pyrotechnics. That was one that came on when I was at work. I popped around the corner. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. What is this? And it's like, what the fuck? I've seen these guys on treadmills, but I've never seen one of them with 12-foot wide pyrotechnic wings shooting flames out the sides. It's like, what?
Yep.
What?
I want to know the guy who came up with that.
That would be the front man. That's the front man. Yeah.
Cool.
They don't have like a...
So Till Lindemann is a trained pyrotechnician.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Wow.
That explains a lot. Actually, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
You know who needed to hire him? James Hetfield.
Woo.
or Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson
Yeah.
for the Pepsi commercial in the 80s where he...
Oh my God, you're right.
That is right.
Anyway,
I forgot
was it a Pepsi
about
commercial
that.
or was it the Super Bowl?
Oh,
I thought it was the Super
okay,
Bowl.
the Super Bowl, maybe for a
But
Pepsi
his
commercial.
wasn't.
I don't know.
His wasn't
Maybe.
near as bad as Hetfield's, was it?
No. Hetfield got third
Second-
degree burns.
second and third degrees.
Okay.
Wait.
All over.
I'm sorry. I don't know the story.
See, that's why I said
What?
everyone get this joke.
I don't know.
So I talked about the pyrotechnics. I was like, who needed him was Metallica. So I want to say it's when the Black album came. Yeah,
It was the
Newstead
Black
was in the
album.
band.
Yeah.
So literally in 91 or 92, the story goes that they changed which fire things were gonna shoot out fire that night, and they went over with the band, like, all right, we're not like we're these are the new ones we're using, and apparently Hetfield didn't understand that meant we're still using the old ones, and so during the Fade to Black solo right in the beginning, like right when the solo hits, like Hetfield is standing on one of these and like a 15-foot flame shoots out on him, like, and the song doesn't continue, it just stops, and like you're like, whoa, like, and this man like 2 months later is back out on tour singing. They had another guy play guitar.
His tech finished that
Oh
run.
my god, that's badass.
Isn't that wild? Yeah, man.
But he was able to sing.
mean-
Wait, that's also badass.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I just remembered? This was in Canada. And
Of course.
they were opening. I'm going to tell this real quick and then I'm going to get back to Rammstein.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. So the fucking flame goes off on Hetfield's. They have to stop their set early, okay? They're opening for Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses takes an hour and a half or like 2 hours to come out on stage and play.
Yeah.
They play 2 songs, and apparently their monitors weren't working, and they started getting tremendous feedback, and Axl was like, I'm fucking done, and they all just left the stage. Which led to what is now known as, like, the riots in Canada of the 90s, where everybody was so pissed because Metallica had to stop playing and Guns N' Roses only played a few songs after waiting, like, 2 hours. And they started, like, flipping cars and setting shit on fire. Like, they destroyed the city.
Well, and you guys know one of Rush's techs died on stage, too.
Oh, I didn't
Up
know
in
that.
Toronto.
Really?
Or no, wait, not Rush. It wasn't Rush, sorry. Radiohead.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Radiohead, yeah. I don't know, because Tom...
Can somebody just say the joke for me so I don't have to... Okay, died of boredom?
Nice.
Okay, go on.
Nice.
Sorry.
Nice. No,
Sorry.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Sorry. And people know I love Radiohead, but go ahead, please. Had to fuck myself, all right? Thanks, boys.
You're welcome. Ryan Rouse.
Yeah.
Dude, this album, I totally agree with you, Craig. This is an industrial album. In fact, I don't even see the argument. I think this is straight up. But I also will throw in that industrial doesn't always necessarily have, like... I think it has a pulse. I don't think it's always necessarily upbeat. You know, like, say...
Oh, yeah. No.
You know,
I just mean a clear pulse.
of course, yeah. Like, Three Teeth is, like, a good example of, like, that.
They are the current torch holders. I really hope that they can continue.
Those guys are
because
so
They're onto
nasty.
something.
They're so nasty. But there's something about, like, this sound that, like, it's only Rammstein has it. No, nobody like, you put a Rammstein song on, you could have never heard it. You could be a casual listener and you'd be like, oh, that's Rammstein. It's almost like what I said many podcasts ago about how one time I heard Avatar come on and I was like, oh, I hate Avatar, and I changed it, and then I was like, I've never heard that song in my life, but I knew it was Avatar. Like, they must be great songwriters, like, because they have a sound. This is the same example. Like, these guys just crafted, like, a perfect thing, you know, in the same way that people craft genres or sounds. Like, Rammstein really, like, their sound is a genre, you know, like, people go, oh, you sound like Rammstein, like, or, like, this hits like Rammstein. Nobody could write anything like Du Hast ever again, you know, or anything that comes near anything on this album, because it would just be you copying. You know what I hear on this album? I hear so many influences. Like, there's shit on here that I think sounds like stuff off of, Deadwing. You know, in some Porcupine Tree albums. Like, there's, I hear it all over. And then there's stuff from, like, later, like, Tool that I hear. Like, there's so much, but this is, like, so much older than all of it. And for 2001, I think it's really crazy to come out of that, like, Y2K and not be another Rage or System. Like they were very much like, no, we're still keeping the kind of, the showmanship of metal going. We're not just gonna be like, once Korn hit the stage, they kind of said like, all right, no more lights, no more this, like it's all about the music, and Rammstein, I feel like it's like, fuck that, like people like this shit.
Yeah, and a big thing to do with that, and something that maybe a lot of people might not realize, is they're a very old band in that Rammstein started when these guys were already in their between their early to their mid 30s. They weren't kids anymore when they start. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's kind of like Tool. Like they were older when they started Tool.
Were they that old though?
Maynard was like 28 or 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
In 91 or 92.
In 91. Okay, yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Because think about
So I guess my point is they already figured out who they were and what they want. You know what I mean? Like all the new metalers are just kind of, or were, now they're older, but they were just a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? So like they were easily influenced to go this way or the other. And Rammstein's like, well, we like fire and we like heavy music.
Well,
stick with it.
One thing with Trevor, if I might interject real quick, that I noticed none of us have said about this record, which is amazing to me.
Okay.
Because, like, one thing that I would describe it as is, like, in general, this thing sounds like a brand new Volkswagen. Just like a nicely engineered, very complicated but classic, like a nice
New
Jetta.
Sponsor.
This
This show is brought to you by Volkswagen. We're all gonna get Volkswagens now. Anyway,
Das Auto.
Guys, I'm already going for that Subaru sponsorship.
This is Volkswagen week.
All right.
So one thing that I noticed here is that none of us, as amazing as this is, this is the first record I believe we have all listened to that hasn't been in English, and that hasn't been
not true.
noted.
what do you?
We did Craig's Russian album.
Oh, well, okay, aside from Ice Peak, this is like, which, yes, obviously is not in English. That was immediately stated. This, no one has commented on the fact that, like,
oh, I see what you're saying.
It's not in English. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No,
They're
it really
so
doesn't.
pervasive within their genre. They're so popular. I mean, myself, as someone who had not listened to a lot of Rammstein before, I had never listened to a full album.
Yeah.
This, like, it just made sense. I never questioned, like with a lot of, I listen to a lot of stuff that isn't in English because I'm not a lyrics guy.
Yeah.
But this in particular, I don't know, I never thought about it. And I noticed none of us have mentioned the fact that it isn't English.
I mean,
at all.
I think that
that's
that
interesting.
I mean, it's a testament to the songwriting and to the fucking just solidness of the fucking band.
Absolutely.
But also, it might be, what's it called? Like, the fucking name of the band speaks for itself, and maybe they've kind of reached a certain level of like fame, where like, oh yeah, dude, it's a German band, no doubt. Even if I'm not a band.
But name one more. Dude, name one more German band.
Scorpions?
Well, okay, that sings in German.
Okay. Icebreaker?
Okay, anyone who
I'm
isn't
sure,
Craig.
dude, but but that's not the point. Like,
It's a good point.
I mean, maybe that is the point. Like,
No,
Well, no. I mean, they're so far above whatever classification that. I mean, I watched again that Madison Square Garden show.
Yeah.
It was packed, and there were people of all ages that they zoomed in on, who were just fucking. Wait, were you there?
Let me tell my story after you're done.
They were just all rocking out. You son of a bitch! What was going on?
All right, so I'm gonna take this one way back to the year 2010.
Nice.
Specifically, December 11th, 2010. So, anybody that doesn't know or not, I don't know why you would know, but it's stupid. So I was born on November 11th.
Yeah, that's so fucking dumb, bro. He was like, jeez.
I know.
Everybody
fucking,
knows that.
I know. But I was born November 11th.
You were born on
and,
11/11. You make a wish
11/11.
every year, bro. Oh,
every year. I make 2 wishes. But so that year, my aunt was extraordinarily kind because, again, another thing that you guys definitely don't know. So this Mutter album tour would be the last time that Rammstein would come back to the United States. That would be their last time in the United States up until 10 years after. So they came and they toured 2001, and then from there they did an album called Rise Rise that came out in 2004. Never played the States. Why? Because they were banned for 3 years after some stage antics there that got them pulled out because, you know, God bless the U.S. government. I don't fucking know. But between that and then I believe it actually had something to do with the terrorist threat at that point was so serious that the band actually wasn't interested in coming back to the States because they were worried about getting caught up in something, and yeah, literally just never came back. So it's earlier in 2010. I get an advertisement, Rammstein's return show to America, one show only, Madison Square Garden, New York. I'm young, I'm excited, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this can't be real. Is this really happening? And my aunt got me and my mom a ticket to go. So we went to New York. I am in that crowd. In fact, they made a Live House America show DVD that I actually got when I was at Berkeley. Wow, that's how into this I am. I actually used the full name and not just the V word. But
That has to be bleeped out.
yeah, I gotta. But so I'm at that show. It was the wildest shit because, like, you know, again, like it's a very weird thing that's specific to like metalheads, but like anybody that's like a real metalhead and you see the guy, like somebody else wearing a metal band t-shirt and you're like, oh fuck yeah, Cannibal Corpse, yeah bro. Like, for the whole day and a half that I was in New York before the show, it was like, I swear to God, it was unavoidable to not see somebody wearing a Rammstein shirt. Like, I mean, like, awesome. All over the city, and like you just saw people, and you just kind of knew. You were like, sup, you know, like we met a I believe they were either Swedish or Finnish or something like that. But, like, they came to America to see Rammstein play at this show. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? They flew here to see you know, like, just, it was the wildest show I have ever seen. Like, I'm in the DVD. Like, not specifically
right
up on me, but I can point to the back of our heads, like, because we're on the ground floor all the way in the back pretty much. But, like, we were fucking there, and I'm like, that was us. And dude, that show, that what you guys were or what Tyler was talking about, the Fire Wings thing, that's how they closed it off that night. Was they played a song called Angel, which is angel, and so he comes out with these giant angel wings that are shooting fire, and you know, dude, it was so fucking cool. It like, that will never, that show experience and whatnot. Also my first time in New York. I'd never been there before, so that was also pretty cool. It will never be topped.
I bet. I fucking bet. I'm listening to this and I'm like, this is cool, but god damn it, I want to see it live.
Yeah, because it sounds just as good, if not better, live.
And just the energy. I just want to feel the energy, and you know, like, it's one of those things.
And the crowd, dude. The crowd was screaming the lyrics in German.
I noticed that. The crowd was crazy into this thing. Everyone from every demographic was at that show screaming these German lyrics. It was awesome.
There was a point of time in my life where I could sing every lyric to every song on every Rammstein album just because, you know what I mean? Like, you hear it enough. Now, granted, I did take 3 years of German in high school because of this band. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just, like, it's one of these things to where it's Rammstein, they're practically a re-representation of German culture in a band. You know, they make you want to drink the beer, eat the food, speak the language, just all of these things, you know, and it's so, like, I don't know another band that has had the same kind of, I think what Tyler said was actually really smart about that, is I don't know a single other band that really could pull off something like this that is just, I mean, this is worldwide. They go play Mexico. The Mexicans are screaming German. It's the States, you know, fucking Russia. There's a really great Live in Moscow DVD that I cannot recommend enough that you guys watch. They're playing in a fucking Coliseum, and all these screaming Russians, more Rammstein shit, and it's just like, it's so weird. Like, I think it's just what happens when you put a band that has a perfect sound with a really intriguing image, and I think what also really helps is the fact that, like, for the most part, you don't know that much about these guys. Like, they're not super, not that they're not personable, because I've never heard of a person ever had like a bad experience talking to, you know, like a member of the band, but at the same time, it's just like they're not putting their lives out on social media 24/7. So like there's a kind of mystery behind them all that's always been there that you're just kind of like, man, this is so fucking weird, you know?
I pulled up this article from 2010. And
Okay.
it says the tickets sold out in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where was the other cool part?
Bro,
This makes Rammstein at the time, 2010, and probably still is. It was the first German band to just ever accomplish such a feat, to sell out
Madison Square Garden.
There we go.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
I sell out in 30 minutes anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's
Craig,
weird,
I
man.
wanted to ask you, so that one Rammstein DVD that I still want to see, I'm gonna make you fucking show it to us when we get there. Where is that?
Let's do it.
That's the
That's in
Moscow one.
Moscow.
That's the Moscow show.
Yeah. Yeah. Or that Volker. Hold on.
'Cause
Now I'm trying to remember which one I wanted to show you specifically.
Because I know it's the one that you have, like, I think you have it on DVD, but, like, you lost it for a while. But I know of it from, like, different clips that I've seen on, like, just the internet. But, yeah, again, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, wow, I want to listen to this live and just be in a sea of people that know all the lyrics, and I'll be like, what the fuck? This is amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure what I was talking to you about was the live Aus Vokerball DVD, but I'm trying to fucking find it here.
Live in Vladivostok.
What does
Vladivostok?
what does Mutter mean?
Mother. Mom, mother. Yeah.
Come on, man. I feel
Come
that
on,
was pretty
Mutter.
obvious. I feel like that's, like, one that you could guess, kind of, right?
It's all good.
It could be
all
Mutter.
So I mean,
man.
obviously, because since I know German, apparently, Twitter is Twitter, right? The eighth, they're talking. Yeah, they're talking about Twitter,
Twitter?
right?
It's definitely
cool,
about
cool.
Twitter. Yes.
And
Yeah.
then
Okay,
wait,
so I also just no, this is important. I have Wikipedia up, and next to Twitter,
It is a hermaphrodite.
you know
does
what
it
it
say?
says?
Hermaphrodite?
Hermaphrodite.
fuck yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Not exactly Twitter. But
I don't know what I'm more impressed with, either the definition of that word or the fact that Craig also knew that.
I mean, he's a fan.
No,
Come
I'm
on,
telling
yeah.
you, I know everything about, like, all right, I just want to talk about, like, how fucking, like, you know how, like, the current thing, and not necessarily current, but it's trending, is you want to be, like, a really progressive artist, right? Like the culturally speaking, like you really want to
Yes.
be a progressive, right? Like that's kind of like the badge of honor right now, is like, hey, you want modern fans, you know,
Yeah.
what should we you know, we love our gays. We love our gay month. We love what do you do? What do you, you know, which you know, which I guess my point being is I'm super stoked it's Pride Month and fuck Target, but aside from that, it's all right. So they've got a record they've got a record with a song on it called Man gegen Man, which literally means man inside man.
Nice.
And the music video is the band playing nude with a bunch of dudes groping each other for 5 minutes. And like that came out in 2005, I think. You know what I mean? Like well before the idea, like I think, you know how everybody gets really up and roar of like Cardi B twerking on some other chick or something like that, and like that's like.
When did Hooker with a Penis come out?
96.
with a penis.
Oh.
But that's
got
not
a lot of.
That's
yeah.
not necessarily about gays.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I'm just.
You're
great.
You're
Tyler,
wrong.
you're canceled. Tyler,
jeez.
Tyler just jumped
got
in the
canceled.
shark.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that.
The Shark Tank.
I just thought we were. Oh, jeez.
Guys,
Oh,
did it really have
jeez.
to come down to us? Did it really have to come down to this?
What a
It's a
God
fight,
damn it,
bro.
Tyler! You just fucking out here ruining Pride Month. Just
No, he's not.
I've never had
honestly.
Chick-fil-A on camera, unlike Trevor, ever.
Hey, I just eat it.
Trevor's frozen with Chick-fil-A on camera.
Was that Chick-fil-A or coffee? Or maybe it's the yeah,
It
it
was
was.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
Perfect.
okay, so real quick, to not do that. So, Craig, one thing
Yes.
I noticed here was when you were talking about this record, the way that I talked about Modest Mouse and the youthful, just genuine nature of that record.
Yes.
This hit me the exact same way. And I
Excellent.
feel like the way that you talk about this, the time frame it put you in, it felt very much like the same thing for you. You know, like I totally get it, man. You know, we sit on tour, we put on our tunes. This is your version of Lonesome Crowded West. You know, it's definitely a companion to that record in our own way.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. It's I don't know that I can literally think of another album right now that probably means as much to me. Like I genuinely mean that. So yes.
I just
Good to know.
yeah, no, this is
I could
a
probably
really good one.
I could probably think of a few that Craig likes more. Magma.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, you know what? You've made a great point. Fuck Rammstein. I think I'm gonna have to come out and just say it. I can't get enough Gojira. Just Gojira all over me. Just Gojira till the day I die.
So okay,
To the day
How-
you die.
it-
Jeez, that's a
it,
lot of Gojira.
this record or how about Mutter or fucking 30 Seconds to Mars?
Mutter.
Ooh.
100%,
Mutter,
right?
Yeah. And I
Well,
I
this
say
man
that-
said that his greatest song of all time is off this album, bro.
Yeah.
How you gonna beat that?
I just
All right, hold on. Let me
just,
go on.
I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Craig's challenging
I just-
himself now.
Okay,
He's
okay,
like,
okay. I
No.
He's like, you know what? Let me listen to both albums.
no.
real quick.
Okay, no.
I-
I bring it up.
Are you guys?
Live
You guys?
on air.
I'm bringing it up because this record is also just like you said, and I agree. It's packed full of singles, but see, these singles are good.
They
Yeah.
are.
Well,
Yeah.
no. These singles are
I wanted to humbly bring
These
it up,
singles
but
are
yeah, that
the-
other record is not that good. Anyway,
Yeah, you shut up, bro. That record's great.
These singles are the best. They're not only good, they're the best. It's,
Okay, so you
know
can't
what I mean?
compare
Like
it.
I love.
Dude, over half the album here are singles. Pardon.
I need you guys, like, if not now, at some point, like whatever. I'm sending you a live version of Rammstein playing Sonne. And because I'm gonna go ahead and guess and say the pyrotechnics are probably pretty much exactly as they are in this show as they were at when I had seen them at Madison Square Garden, maybe more, I don't know, because I think it might be an outdoor show. My point is, so that you guys can like look up if you're interested, like the live in Madison Square Garden set list. but pretty much what happened was they played a good amount of songs, and they left the stage. No goodbye, no nothing. It was just like, oh, okay, like I guess it's just done. And then out of nowhere, you start hearing the do do da do 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 da do 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 da do do do. You know, the eins do 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 da da zwei da da da, right? And these yellow lights just start flashing, and everyone is losing their shit because they know what is about to go down. And suddenly, out of nowhere, and I'm gonna try to like do this for the camera so it can also understand exactly what you're seeing. You know when there's that like alarm sound that starts right before the heavy hit, the wah-ja banana. When that downbeat started, there were about 8 giant flames that come shooting, like 4 from the bottom and 4 from the top down, like whoosh, like it just hit, and you're like, this fire, like they've had great pyrotechnics the whole show, but as like an encore opening up with fucking fire that just fucking covers the stage, like you guys won't eat, like you no what no.
No.
Oh.
What sort of technical difficulty has Craig just had?
I think I've just lost my whole video.
Somebody used the pyrotechnic.
Oh no, what does it mean? I don't have enough
Space? Yeah, it happens.
I have but I have a phone that has something like 128 gigs of. I don't know.
Dude, here's
Okay, so
the
you ran out of
thing.
video now?
If all
at
of
least?
our
Not-
Yeah, just like I don't know when, but at some point I definitely ran out of my video.
It's okay.
It's all right. Anyways,
We
my
can
point
look
being,
at snow.
I'll just what I'll have to do is I'll like maybe if anything link it or whatever. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying, because this is a conversation with us. Fuck the listeners. All right, this is for us. Okay. They'll definitely hear that too. But
sorry, international.
You know what? I got your back. Fuck those guys, bro.
yeah,
fuck
fuck them
the
too.
listeners.
Anyways, that experience of seeing that and that live show, and that way of playing an encore with like you're not only gonna get more of us, but you're also gonna get like the thing that we really bring to our live show. That like I've seen lots and lots and lots of metal bands live, and nobody does it like that. You know what I mean? Like nobody delivers like that, and oh my god, dude, I definitely remember losing my voice after that show for a while. Like I know for a fact it was gone for like a good while because I was definitely screaming.
You
like,
lost your
way too
voice?
loud, like that whole show.
The boys?
Yes.
You lost the boys? Your boys?
I lost my voice. My voice. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that
Oh,
was
no,
way
my
funnier
boys.
in my head. I was like, damn, that's pretty funny. Anyway.
I could
That's
see
why
him
you're the
like,
William,
like
my
running
guy.
around the venue. He's like, "Has anyone seen my boys?" And he's like, "How do I say this in German?"
Oh.
Wohin meinen
Children? No.
what the fuck is
Well,
not
well
Kinder.
see, boys, here's the thing. You know who always knows where the boys are?
who?
Le Walion.
Le Roi Lion always knows where the boys are.
Le Roi Lion.
Le Roi Lion.
I wonder. Okay, so he knows where his boys are, but like, does he know where his like father is? Anyway.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Maybe.
In closing, I'm glad you guys really enjoyed this album.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I would recommend if you guys are. Man, all the times I was doing this, I wonder if it even got any of it. God damn it.
I got him, bro. That's what
Yo,
matters.
we did it too.
You did it.
I've done
did
it.
it.
Yep.
We
At least
did.
once.
Excellent.
Remember, fuck the
Shit
listeners.
lake. Shit lake.
Yeah, shit lake.
But yeah, listen to more. Just listen.
I
listen
will.
to more.
I will.
And just keep listening. 'Cause
Will.
I can't say that it gets any better than this, but it definitely doesn't get any worse either. It's just like being a band that consistently puts out perfect music for like the last 25 years or 27 years, I should say.
Kind of like Fish.
Kind of
buddy.
like Gojira. Kind of like Iron Maiden.
Yeah, these are
Who else?
these
Wait,
are all
wait.
really funny ways of saying Gwen Stefani.
30
Who were we
Seconds to
talking
Mars.
about earlier? That's kind of funny. Guns N' Roses.
Bee Gees? Oh.
Wait,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so wait. What's funny about that conversation was the order. It was what, Metallica and then Guns N' Roses? Of course, that's a bad omen
Yes.
in
Yeah.
and of itself. Like, the order of that is
Yeah.
wrong.
Dude, 91, Guns N' Roses was
Well,
the hottest
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They blew up like
I mean, guys, I'm
like
pretty
Hiroshima.
sure. But in '91, Paul Simon was still pretty giant.
yeah, music
Yeah.
in
Let's not
general was
forget.
huge.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard the story of when Axl Rose tried to fight Kurt Cobain?
Amazing.
What?
Yeah.
No, I have not, but
I've also
Yeah.
heard
tell
the
me
story
more.
about
Yeah.
when he. Have you heard the story about
So-
when he did fight Vince Neil from Motley
Vince-
Crue?
No
Oh,
one know.
Oh, yeah.
But I would watch that fight and just want them both to lose.
Wasn't the deal? Wasn't the deal with the Cobain thing? Like Cobain was just kind of like, I don't really like you guys.
No, so the whole thing was apparently they had just so him and Courtney Love had just had Frances Bean Cobain, you know, the
Uh-huh.
baby, their kid. And so apparently like they were in like a joint green room between them. Like I think they were on the same festival like thing. I don't think it was like a full like a Nirvana opening up for Guns N' Roses on a tour, you know, but I think they were on the same festival and like Axl was like walking by and apparently like they were joking around because like they're just young dumb kids. Like they were 20, you know, Kurt was 27 when he died. Like that's
Yeah.
barely a half a year older than I am at this point. He's just like they're like giving him like not shit, but like just being like, "Hey, like Axl, do you want to be Francis's godfather? You know, do you want to be his godfather, you know, kind of thing?" And apparently he got really pissed off at that, and so he kept like calling Kurt the F word, and then kept threatening to like beat him up. And then I think the end of the fight was that Kurt actually spit in his face, and then and then the security guards pulled him all away, which I thought was kind of funny, but kind of interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've heard similar things that like, once Guns N' Roses got like booked with Nirvana,
Yeah.
something about like, apparently a couple of times Axl has reached out to have Nirvana play with them because he liked Nirvana.
Really?
Yes, he liked Nirvana, and then when he met Kurt, which I'm assuming probably involved this fight, but
Yeah.
I had heard something along the lines of like he had like said like, oh yeah, I love Nirvana, yada yada yada, and he was like, oh that's cool, like your band's all right, you know, like, and he was kind of like, I don't really like I'm not really that big a fan, like whatever, and like
Yeah.
ever since then Axl would just try to like ruin it, like and got all mad, and like he would always like say stuff like speak out against Kurt Cobain, and he's like, and then Kurt Cobain would be like, I mean, he said he really liked us.
That's hilarious. That's
Yeah. I don't know.
I've-
We should.
Axl Rose is like the biggest tool, man.
I was gonna say, we should hire him.
can't.
Yeah.
honestly, he sounds like
Yeah.
a great
That
guy
would
to
be,
be around.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
A good
think
father
so.
figure.
A really good father.
You know
figure.
what? He should be my godfather.
I think that's an idea. I think that's
I'm sure-
that's an idea. Well,
Uh-huh.
boys, I'm
Well,
sorry
I-
to. Oh, go. I was just gonna say we are at like an hour 45 right now, so maybe if anything we could just close this up in a second.
Yeah,
just
no,
so
I
don't-
think it's a good
Yeah,
idea.
Will.
the video.
cool.
Will, do you have like
I do
you
have
have, like,
something
a-
in mind.
a youthful impact like Tyler and Craig have had?
Ooh.
Wait,
that's
an
a
album that
story.
has had a youthful impact on me?
If
That has
you
touched
happened
Yeah, the
It-
album that has touched you.
or not, it's totally you know
No,
what I
it
mean. Like
needs to
it's-
have touched you.
Preferably in your teenage youth.
Sorry, wait, you can't see me right now, but our audience can. I was yawning right now. That question was boring me. I'm just gonna leave. No. Okay, so I mean, I already have an album in mind, and at this point, I don't think I'm gonna
That's
change
fine.
my mind about it.
Just lie. Just say
Let's
it was.
do
It's
it.
that.
No,
That's
no,
the youthful.
It's from. I mean, it
It came out
came out in
yesterday.
2011.
So,
So, I mean, That
All right,
counts.
that counts.
Yeah. But more than a youthful impact,
Did you
it's
listen
had
to
like
it in
a
2011?
really big impact on me, like musically. So, yeah,
As a drummer.
as a musician, you know, as a way that I fucking.
Gotcha. Please don't compare musicians to drummers.
Right?
Will,
Well,
all right?
no. But what I'm saying
Well,
I
is,
appreciate that.
yeah, as a
Well, it's
drummer,
pronounced-
more
I'm
than that
kidding.
as well.
It's-
You know,
It's pronounced skin.
Well, yeah.
It's pronounced skin flute.
Oh.
Wait, I thought that was something else. Anyway, so for next week's record, I'm gonna do a Miguel Zenón record.
Okay.
It's definitely different from like anything else that we've touched on. I don't think we've touched on this genre yet, which is
Oh, yeah.
again another conversation. But it is Miguel Zenón's 2011 release, Alma Adentro. I guess if you translate it, it's like soul inside. Anyway, it's all arrangements of older like 70s boleros and it's arrangements of 70s like old people songs from Puerto Rico, but very
Cool, man.
like just
We have definitely listened to this before.
put that
so I'm
album
stoked.
on
Yeah.
and drift away for a second.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Right on.
Miguel.
And I will
Zen-
ask that you throw that in the group
No,
chat
yeah,
real
of
fast for
course.
us at some. Thank you.
Zenon,
Yes,
right?
with a Z. Miguel
I
Zenón.
mean, it's Zed.
Zeta, warrior princess.
It's
killing,
it's
boys.
got like it's like kind of black and white but with like a blue undertone, and it has like a picture of two people dancing. So there you go.
Fuck yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Excellent. Then that has been that. Everybody, thank you so
Wait.
much for watching.
Wait,
slash
no, I
listening.
do need to
Oh,
interrupt you. Wait, I forgot. Shut the fuck up, Craig. I promised a dear fan of ours that I would give a shout out. We have a very recent
Oh.
fan. She has been very dedicated to our fucking podcast and has talked to me about it. And she wants us to come to Puerto Rico as soon as possible. Shout out to Adriana. No,
Love you, Mom.
No.
Oh.
Anyway, shout out to Adriana. She's a new fan, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, this one's for you.
She paid you for
What?
this, right?
Shout out to
Yes.
Adriana.
Muchas gracias, Adriana.
Yes, muchos grassy the ass. Yeah. Yeah, everybody do the sign because I can't. So just go ahead and throw it out there.
I got it.
Thank you.
Put one next to the snowman.
Oh yeah, hold on, I got that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, cool. Hell yeah, boys. Good show. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you guys
Bye.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.